Oh, hi. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my in-depth review of the brand new Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. Now this just recently launched and I couldn't wait to test it out on our mature skin. So in case you're interested, then keep on watching. Hey guys, it's Kat and welcome to my channel. You guys, I have been diligently reviewing this Face Bond Foundation from Urban Decay because it really had me intrigued because it's supposed to be waterproof, sweat-proof, it's supposed to be blurring. So you know me, I had to test it out, review it, take notes, and I can't wait to share with you what I really think about this new $40 foundation. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, you guys, we're under a tornado watch. Welcome to Tennessee, but I am actually filming in the basement. We take tornadoes very seriously here in the Deep South, so I am on high alert. I actually got a warning on my little Android, what do you call this? Watch? I don't know. So if anything happens, you'll know why. But okay, so I don't have anything on my complexion, just my regular skincare as well as my eyebrows. I've been testing this out for the last several days, like I mentioned, with different types of primers, different types of cream products, powder products to see what works best with this particular formula. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of judge my face, even though my face feels a little, ugh. I want to prime my face with the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray from e.l.f. This is brand new. I feel it's kind of later in the day and I just want to zhuzh up my complexion. This has the best mist. Feels really refreshing on the skin. You can use it as a primer. You can also use it to set your makeup as well. It's a fantastic product. But yeah, let's read up on the new Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation. It's medium to buildable coverage, 24-hour wear. I'm not wearing it for 24 hours, but I did push it to 12 and a half hours. Stay tuned for that. It's supposed to be waterproof. It contains 3% niacinamide serum. It's supposed to set itself, so there's no need for setting powder. Of course, it's supposed to be a natural matte finish. The formula is actually a combination of water and oil emulsion. So I don't know how this would fare on oily complexion girls, but if you're new to my channel, I do have normal to dry skin, hyperpigmentation, redness, fine lines, the whole kit and caboodle. But I can't wait to put this foundation on my face. I ordered the shade online. No, I didn't get to swatch it, unfortunately, and it's a teeny bit too dark on my complexion, but I figured it'd be a really good summer shade. So picked up the shade 11 Light Cool, and it's in this like unique component where you can really control how much comes out. This is definitely too dark for me, but like I said, this will be a great summer shade. But this is what she looks like. And it's a really thin consistency. And in my experience, I really liked using my fingertips because seriously, this kind of dries down fast. So you want to work quickly. It really does have a super thin consistency. I like using my fingertips to just evenly spread it out. I find it doesn't get streaky whatsoever, but this is medium to buildable coverage. I'm just going in with a very light hand. And honestly, I don't think you need a brush or a sponge, but let's see what happens. Just go ahead and tap it in. I feel like this is the best foundation if you want to throw on something quick because it's such a thin consistency and it really does spread out evenly. But this is one side with like half a pump. And I'm going to turn down my lights so you can see. It's nice. And it's so thin, very light, and it depends upon how much you apply. But let's go ahead and go to the other side, and I'm gonna keep my lights down. A little bit extra on top of my most hyperpigmentation. And I'm just using my fingertips to blend it out. If you just concentrate on those particular areas, it does provide really nice buildable coverage without sacrificing the cakiness, because it really is a smoothing foundation. I'm just going to take whatever's left, just apply a little bit to the forehead. This does dry down quickly, so you want to work fast, but it blends out so easily. And even if you get a little bit under your under eye area, it's not thick like a normal foundation where it tends to get cakey. So if you accidentally, go a little too high, where you should put concealer, no worries because it is so smoothing. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? Since I have quite a bit of coverage right through here, I want to go ahead and color correct my under eye area. This is what I've been using all week. Whenever I test out a new foundation, I always rely on the products that I can trust. So if something's not working with the actual foundation, I know it's not going to be the concealer, it's not going to be any other types of products. So every product that I've tested out with this foundation is something that I know how it's going to perform. And let me tell you something, I have put it through the ringer. I've used cream blush, powder blushes, cream bronzers, powder bronzers, you name it, I tried it, because since it's a matte foundation, I really wanted to see how it would interact with all different types of products. And then I'm gonna go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Concealer, and I'm just gonna add a tiny bit just to brighten up that area. Just blend it out. And I'm gonna take a little bit what's left on that concealer brush and go down the center of my nose, I don't know, right through there. Very seamless between the foundation as well as the concealer. Now, as far as how it feels, it doesn't feel dry whatsoever. Now remember, I did use the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray underneath just to zhuzh up my skin. My skin feels hydrated and not drying whatsoever. I mean, it might be a matte finish, but it doesn't really give me matte vibes. So what I wanna do next is I wanna go in with bronzer. I'm going in with the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer in Hey Honey. I'm just gonna tap a little bit in. This is a fantastic cream bronzer that I found does not move this matte foundation. Now I know earlier this week when I tested it out, I used the e.l.f. bronzing drops. That kind of lifted up this foundation, which I found super disappointing. But in my experience, this bronzer is really setting into place. It's not lifting up that foundation, and it just looks really natural on the skin. It's kind of giving my skin a little bit more dimension. My skin is not looking so flat. Beautiful. The one type of blush that I haven't used yet is like a jelly tint. And you know I love the Milk Makeup Cooling Water Jelly Tint. And this is in the shade, I forgot what shade it is, and I don't have my glasses. Wait, I do have my glasses. Chill. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of Chill and see if it's gonna lift it up, see how it reacts to this particular foundation. I have not used this blush in a hot minute, but I'm gonna start pulling it out again because it's so pretty. Oh yeah, this is working well. It's not picking it up whatsoever. You guys, I love this jelly tint. It really does stain the skin, but it does stay on. So if you have a transfer, sweat, and waterproof foundation, this blush is working really well with it. Complexion is looking really good. I know, this stain's really bad. I love how it works with the cream bronzer and with the jelly tint, the cooling jelly tint blush from Milk Makeup. Really impressed that it didn't pick up the foundation. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a quick eye makeup look, and we're gonna go out in natural daylight to see exactly what we're dealing with. Okay. And here we are with the final look. Now for eyes, I just went in and did a super simple look with the Huda Beauty Khaki Haze eyeshadow palette. I bought this, I think, a couple of years ago, and I thought it would be fun to pull out and use nice pops of coral and some deep plums and some shimmers, but I wanted the focal point to be the complexion. And then for lips, I went in with the RMS Beauty Serum lipstick. You guys, this is such a fabulous lipstick. It has the most amazing longevity. You can eat, drink, it won't rub off. It's beautiful. But anyway, we are here for the face bond. Typically, I would set my under eye area because it is getting super humid here, but since it is a self-setting foundation, I'm not gonna do that. However, I have tested it out by using different types of setting powders, like the Huda Beauty setting powder, as well as the Laura Mercier Ultra Blurring setting powder. But today, we're just gonna do as is. If you have really dry skin, I'd want to give you a heads up to really hydrate and moisturize your complexion, because I could see how it would cling to your dry spots. Just make sure you really hydrate your complexion, do a really well thought out skincare routine if you have dry skin and you want to try this foundation, because I can actually see it possibly clinging onto some dry spots. If you live in a climate where it doesn't get that humid and the air is dry, definitely hydrate your skin before you apply this particular foundation. But since I live in a very humid place, I have normal to dry skin, I figured this is a great foundation for those particular moments. With all the humidity, it's really gonna set in place and it doesn't move. And I think it's beautiful. With 40 shades and a price cost of $40, you don't really use a lot. Remember, a little bit goes a long way. It is medium to buildable coverage. And I wanna show you how the other testings went. Now this right here was day 1. "12.5 hours with the Urban Decay Face Bond." And you know what? It's hydrating. It's also including a setting powder. This is promising, but this is actually very impressive. And remember, I just used the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray from e.l.f. as a primer. And nothing pore smoothing, nothing like that, but I think it looks really promising. And this is at 12.5 hours. It's one of those foundations where during the day, if you want to touch up, you literally just need to use your fingertips to tap it back in. How easy is that? Yeah, this is 12.5 hours. First day of testing out the Urban Decay Face Bond. Day 2, 12 hours. I used the Wet n Wild, my all-time go-to favorite drugstore primer. You know what? Oh, and it was really humid out today. No touch-ups, but I feel like this is supposed to have a self-setting powder like I mentioned before. I did use a little bit of setting powder. I used the Huda Beauty, oh God, what is that stuff? The Cherry Blossom Cake, the Easy Bake, and I just set my under eye area, which I think is looking really good. I used the Dermatology Luminous Color Corrector as well as the Say Slip Tint Concealer. That is performing beautifully. You gotta remember this has been over 12 hours, so I'm really pushing this foundation to the limit, but so far, that's definitely a cat hair. But this is day 2, 12 hours. I'm impressed. I'm getting impressed. This could be a really good foundation if you don't normally use a setting powder, because sometimes setting powder can settle into fine lines and wrinkles and age us even more. But this one is so smooth and it does really last a long time. Super lightweight, it's super comfortable. I think it lays really smooth on the skin, and depending upon what type of primer you like to use, whether it's smoothing or hydrating or glowy, I think they all work really well except for the Wet n Wild. I don't know why that one didn't work well on my skin, but it even looks beautiful without a primer. But yeah, so those are my final thoughts on the Urban Decay Face Bond. It's good. I really like it. Would I say it's my all-time favorite? You know what? Maybe I need to do another ranking of my favorite foundations. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do one of those, because I love ranking products. I just take joy in that. I don't know why. It's so weird, but yeah. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun. I know I did. And if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. I would love it if you'd be a part of our family. But for now, mwah, mahal kita. I love you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. In the morning, your thoughts are running wild. Breathe deep, relax your